I just wanted to do a check-in video and explain what you might have missed last week if you didn't make it to any of the Zooms. So basically, we took a look at Canvas and figured out, where to look for things. So our class over here, this is photo 2, okay? So it has a different picture than when you were in photo 1, so that way I can keep my classes straight, okay? So let's take a look together. I'm going to be trying to have Zoom as much as possible in class. Here's my Zoom stuff, and here's when class is in case you ever forget, or if ever you're on, quarantine and you're not able to come to class or whatever. Most of what you're going to need is going to be in modules, just like last time, okay? So let's take a look together. All right, let's scroll back up. So last week we looked at this manual mode stuff. We mostly did this pre-test, okay? And we went over the wrong answers together. So basically what you did is, this is not a real test, okay? It's worth like participation points, okay? It's not really worth like a proper grade. Basically what we did was you take the quiz and then we went over the answers together as a class, and then based on people's answers we went back into the modules and we went over these notes. As I click through these should look familiar. These are basically just copied straight out of photo 1, okay? At the bottom of this page is this slideshow thing, okay? This is the slideshow that we went over in photo 1 together. We went over it again in class for like as sort of like a refresher to help us remember manual mode. You can totally go through this on your own. Right here I have all of the like things I would have said if you were there to listen to me in person, okay? Like, so on each page I have like my commentary to go along with each of these, okay? To explain what each thing is. So if you're not sure, please come in here and read the slides, okay? Don't just like flick through them and look at the pictures. Like, the pictures are helpful, but they're not useful unless you're getting the information. So come through here and read all of these little sets of words. I know that some of the pages have a lot of them, but it should be very helpful. Okay, so I'm just gonna click through these. I also have like the video thing and like the little step-by-step photos showing you the different settings that were used so you can look and see which one was working best, okay? In case you never noticed in the photo 1 class, I do also have a page separately for each of these types of notes. They're meant to sort of replace the in-class part. And if you look carefully, you'll notice like, oh yeah, I remember her showing us that when we were in class last time, okay? The last thing that is useful that you should pay attention to is there's this manual mode practice tool. Okay, if you click onto here, let me get rid of my arrow. Okay, basically what it is that the Canon, the camera company, has a camera simulator on their website that you can use to practice until you have your own camera. So here's what it looks like. Basically what it does is it has each of the type of controls that's actually on a camera, okay, right over here. And what you have is there's these sliders that you can adjust, okay? And then you come over to this blue button, and if you click it, it takes a picture, sort of. Here, let me get rid of all my little highlights and stuff. Okay, so it lets you see if you picked the right camera controls, and it explains what was good or bad about it. So I highly recommend that you come in here and you practice messing with these different settings. Something that you guys might not have noticed or paid attention to before, there's this exposure meter right here. Okay, you'll see that there's like this little white tick mark, and then there's also this white tick mark. Basically, when you're taking a picture, you want this tick mark to be at the 0 mark. That means that it's in the middle. It has enough lights and enough darks. If it's on this side that has a little plus, that means positive. That means it's brighter than like medium. And over here, that means it's darker than medium, okay? So, for example, right now, it's like super too bright, right? It says very overexposed right here. So that means I would want to like speed up my shutter speed to make it get darker, or if I had left my shutter where it was, I would need to make the aperture hole smaller, which means a bigger number, right? And you'll see the tick mark moving as I move the aperture. Okay, but say I'm like, no, I want a shallow depth of field, then that means you have to move the shutter. Okay, and then you take your picture. Okay, so please come practice with this tool. I think it will be really helpful to play around with that quite a lot. Okay, so that's where we're at so far. On Monday, like today, in class, I reviewed sort of what's coming up and what I'm hoping to do. So our next couple of things are all related to manual mode, basically. We're going to do 3 sort of mini units. You can see how I put like unit 1.2, 0.3, 0.4. These are all technically still part of unit 1. They're just, in order to make it more organized and more easy to see things, I tried to separate them out. So basically what it is we're going to do 2 sort of small projects practicing shutter speed controls. Then we're going to do 2 small projects using aperture control, like that focus on aperture control. And then the last one is going to be 2 small projects about how to use ISO correctly. Okay? After that, our projects are all going to be sort of building off of what we did in photo 1. So, for example, this civics and social justice in photo, this is meant to be building off of documentary photography. And then commercial photography, this is a build off of still life. And then the fashion photography is like part 2 of the portraiture that we did. And then the conceptual photography is basically like Photoshop and creative thinking. Okay. So that's sort of what we're doing. That's like what's coming up. If we have time for more than this, then we'll do more. But this is our starting point, okay? So we'll do like a project for each of these and like watch videos and learn about artists and all that sort of thing. So that is what's happening next up, okay? But I want us to get really comfortable with manual settings on a camera so that way we can use manual mode on all of our projects, okay? So that is all we've done so far. Like all we've done is this manual mode pretest and manual mode practice tool, okay? There's no homework as of Monday. In Tuesday in class, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna hook up my camera to the computer and then put it on the TV or on screen sharing so that people can see and like see what I'm setting my camera to as I take photos live with them. That way I can explain to you as I take photos like why I'm choosing the things I'm choosing to help you sort of better understand why you would make certain decisions when you're taking a photo. Like, well, why would you put the shutter speed at this setting? Why would you put the ISO there, right? So I'll be able to like walk you through step by step how I take manual mode photos to help help you get more comfortable with it and help it make more sense. Okay, so that's what we've been doing in Photo 2. Hopefully I will see you soon. Okay, bye.